Good afternoon, fellow patriots. The conservative patriot here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday. Excuse me. Guys, I've been reading this book, Bombshell Stuff. So what I've learned from this so far is that we all already knew that Hillary Clinton bought and paid for the Steele dossier. Wow, this book confirms that this all happened even before that. 2015 and early 2016. And basically, this is based on the bombshell information from Congressman Devin Nunes. He uncovered the biggest political scandal in U.S. I can't talk today. U.S. history. And it basically talks about he was born, his early life, his family migrated over from Spain, becoming what an interesting stuff. Put it that way. And starting their own farming business, his family business, farming business. Awesome. I think President Trump was there. I think it was either yesterday or he's going to be there today. I don't know. It could have been yesterday. So I was on Twitter. And what did I see? That they're making death threats to Caitlyn Bennett and her family. They are literally threatening to kill her and her family. What in the hell is wrong with these people? That you would commit to saying such threatening words to a young lady like that. These leftists have lost their minds, and all these liberal professors need to be fired. Get rid of them, and I definitely agree that they definitely need to defund these colleges that are allowing free speech. They do. She's absolutely right on that. What they did to her on Monday was a disgrace. It was just pathetic. It just shows that, they have no tolerance for anything. They don't want the truth. They don't want to accept the truth. But this is what the leftists do. They literally make threats to you, your family, anybody that's involved, that's ever been associated with you. That's what they do. And those people that are called for this crap should be put in jail. That is a vile threat. And you don't do something like that. I don't care what your political beliefs are. You don't just sit there and make death threats to a young lady like that. It's stupid, it's childish, and because she has a difference of opinion than you dingbat leftist, you want to make death threats to her and her family? Like, grow up. This is the society we are living in today. Welcome to it, folks. This is exactly the society that we live in. Isn't that crappy? But God forbid if we said something like that, it'll get front page news. Oh, Trump supporter threatens to kill this person. I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying do it. That's very bad. But what these leftists did, by throwing stuff at her, throwing toilet paper at her, hot beverages, juice boxes at her. And you're gonna sit there and tell me that these leftists are tolerant? No, they're not. They just showed the true colors that day. And I really hope there wasn't so much damage to Joel's truck. If I was her, I'd press charges. Honestly. And for the police to sit there and not do anything to stop these people, shame on you. You saw the video. He looked like he had a smirk on his face, too. They should be fired. Because if you're not going to hold the oath of the Constitution to serve it to protect the people, see you later. Anyway, I figured I'd get that off because I'm just so sick of this. I had to step in and defend this poor young lady who's probably been through hell, for the last 48 hours. I could just imagine the threats and all the stuff that's coming at her. You know, this is America. These leftist idiots out there. We're allowed to have our own differences. This is not the right way to do things, by screaming in their ear and act like throwing a temper tantrum like a two-year-old baby. Our forefathers warned us about this. About how there'd be divisiveness, there'd be hatred, the abuse of power, which is what the Democrats are doing. And guys, let me tell you, I could not stop reading this. There's so much information in this book that I encourage every single one of you to get this. Except the leftist liberals, forget you. It's our sense of, you know. So, you all know about the Russia collusion. The book talks about this at the very beginning of it. So, what I know, for what I know, understand from this book so far, is all the stuff that basically the Democrats are accusing Trump of, they're doing. All of it. Every single thing. It's right there. Find it with, in black and white printing. So, this whole Russia collusion started late 2015, early 2016. So people are thinking it started, this Russia collusion investigation actually started on the 31st of July. It started in early winter of 2016. This book confirms that, right here. It started way earlier than that. Yes, the trials for that, I mean, the investigation officially begun there, but this is suggested it started earlier than that. So, kudos to Devin Nunes for bringing this information, and for Lee Smith for making this book, because this is the type of stuff you want to read. Okay? So, we already know that Christopher Steele and Hillary Clinton made up a faulty Steele dossier to dig up dirt on her political opponent. This book confirms that, by the way. And there's so many people involved in everything else. Excuse me. So, I want to read you something. Actually, I'm going to keep that there because that's where I left off anyhow. I'm going to read you something. Educate you. Okay? Alright, so, you guys ready? This is chapter 1. Adjective Medusa. This is what Congressman Nunez called this. Welcome. said Congressman Devin Nunes, to the last gasp of the Russian collusion conspiracy theory. It was July 24th, 2019, so this is last year. The first time he come face to face with Special Counsel Robert Mueller III. And now their meeting was taking place in public. On Capitol Hill, in front of millions of people watching at home on television. At least half the audience had their hopes pinned on Mueller. Go figure. The former director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation had been appointed in May 2017. To continue, the Bureau's probe into Russia interference in the 2016 election. He represented what have once been the best chance of changing the outcome of the election by bringing down Trump. You follow me so far? Alright, do I have you? Okay. What had stopped him was Nunes, the former chairman and now ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, had been studying the Russia-Trump collusion investigation for nearly 2.5 years. So it's since it originally began. In other words, Nunes had discovered and produced evidence that the FBI and Department of Justice had abused the resources of the federal government to spy on Donald J. Trump, his campaign, his transition team, and his presidency. I'm not going to read all this. I just want to get to the important stuff here so I can get you up to speed what I'm talking about here. Nunes knew that the FBI had no collusion case against Trump. The FBI had no evidence except for political dirt paid for by Hillary Clinton's campaign. Didn't I just say that? With Nunes closing off avenues, Mueller had to adjust. He turned it into an obstruction investigation, which had lasted nearly 2 years until Attorney General William Barr has shut that down. 2. Like Nunes, Barr understood that Mueller was running an operation, not an investigation. On March 22nd, 2019, so this all goes back to last year, okay? Just so you know. Mueller produced his final report, okay? After spending more than $30 million and employing dozens of attorneys and FBI agents, the special counsel found no evidence that Trump and his associates had colluded with Russia. Case closed there. Nonetheless, Mueller's devotees found hope in the report, insinuating that the president may have obstructed justice. Now, isn't that quaky dick? Because isn't that what they charged President Trump of during the impeachment trial? You be the judge in the comments. Democrats summoned him to testify before Congress in an effort to bring the report to life. A television reenactment that might, with luck, lead to Trump's impeachment. Did I just say that? After a long career in public service, the 74-year-old Mueller's last act was a political mannequin. He surely wasn't there to answer real questions about the investigation. The questions that Nunes had been asking since March 2017. When did the investigation start? Based on what evidence? Under whose authority? What other U.S. agencies and departments were involved? Which U.S. governmental personnel had a hand in the operation? How high did it go? How many spies were sent against Trump's presidential campaign? Now, these are all questions asked by Devin Nunes. I think he's done amazing work here. But of course, we've seen it on national television. This book confirms it. Also, Mueller brushed any private questions aside. They weren't, as he said repeatedly in his preview. The special counsel stumbled over 8 friendly questions. He claimed ignorance of important investigative details. He appeared not to know much of what was in the report that carried his name. Interesting, huh? So, Nunes read from a personal prepared statement. So, this is coming from Congressman Nunes. In March 2017, Democrats on this committee said that they had more than circumstantial evidence of collusion, but they couldn't reveal it yet. Mr. Mueller was soon appointed, and that they said he would find the collusion. Then, when no collusion was found in Mr. Mueller's indictments, the Democrats said we'll find it in his final report. Then, when there was no collusion in the report, we were told Attorney General Barr was hiding it. No. Then it was clear Barr wasn't hiding anything. We were told it would be revealed through a hearing with Mr. Mueller himself. And now that Mr. Mueller is here, they are claiming that the collusion was actually been in his report all along. Hidden in plain sight. So this is in pretty interesting so far. So we're gonna get to the part where alright. Drop your boats, it's gonna be a long video. No, just kidding. I won't keep it too much longer, but on March 22nd, 2017, Nunes was on his way to the White House to tell Trump about what he'd seen. The chairman of the House Parliament Select Committee on Intelligence, HPSCI, looked alarmed. What concerned him that afternoon was a hostile action taken by foreign adversaries, terrorists, or the intelligence services of a rogue nation state. Rather, it was something that American spies had done to Americans. So, we go back to the Obama administration for a second here. This book also confirms that, too. We made executive order to spy on our own citizens. For what reason? We have yet to find out. Alright, hold on, I lost my place here. Oh, okay. Nunes had seen evidence of a plot against the president. Early in the month, the recently inaugurated Trump had written on Twitter that his predecessor had spied on him. Just found out that Obama had my wiretapped in Trump Tower just before the victory. Trump's statements regularly touched off a firestorm. His opponents found cause to denounce his every utterance, even as the same words rallied his supporters. But this was different. He'd accused the President of the United States of spying on a political campaign. It was unthinkable. Yet sources have shown Nunes that Barack Obama's administration officials had asked for the identities of Trump transition team members to be redacted from intelligence reports. Typically, hold on, let me see here. Yeah, this is getting good, guys. I'm sorry for this video to be long, but I think I had to read this to you because it pretty much confirms what I've been talking about all these months. Typically, The entities, names, titles, and so on of U.S. citizens are redacted, i.e., masked to protect their privacy rights. Unmasking is not illegal, and there are legitimate reasons to ask for the identity of an American to be unmasked. When users had seen evidence of an extensive campaign of unmaskings for no apparent purpose, except to spy on the Trump team. Nunez, wearing a blue striped suit, approached a group of several dozen reporters, photographers, and TV cameramen assembled at the bottom of the staircase in the Capitol Hill Visitor Center. He stood at a narrow lectern with a dozen microphones to accommodate all the media. The event was carried live on several networks. He unfolded a prepared statement and began. While I said there was no physical wiretap of Trump Tower, I was concerned that other surveillance activities were used against President Trump and his associates. First, I recently confirmed on numerous occasions the U.S. intelligence community incidentally collected information about U.S. citizens in the Trump transition. Details about U.S. persons associated with the incoming administration, details with little or no apparent foreign intelligence value, were widely decimated, and intelligence community reporting. I have confirmed that additional names of Trump's transition team members were unmasked. Fourth and finally, I want to be clear. None of the surveillance was related to Russia or the investigation of Russian activities of the Trump team. The Obama administration had unmasked the identities of Trump associates. The wide dissemination of information identified them as had increased the likelihood that it would be linked to the media. Nunez had touched on the essence of what could eventually be understood as the political operation to destroy Trump. It began in the winter of 2015, early 2016. See, I just said that, didn't I not? It consists of two components intertwined. One involved senior above officials from the U.S. law enforcement and intelligence communities, as well as the diplomatic corps. They had used electronic surveillance and confidential human sources to spy and entrap the Trump team. They had leaked classified information to the press to portray Trump and his circle, compromised by hidden his ties to the Russian government. That was a political espionage campaign, often conducted clandestinely. That's a good word. Tongue twister. Anyway. The other component was the media campaign. The press had published leaks of classified intelligence as well as political dirt provided by Clinton operatives. To build an echo chamber smeared Trump as a Russian agent. Sound familiar? The operation had two separate legs. It was designed, first, to undermine his campaign after Trump won. The operation continued, but now its goal was to bring down the president, Nunez said. So here's what it says here. The House Intelligence Committee would thoroughly investigate surveillance and its subsequent dissemination to determine who was aware of it, who was not disclosed to Congress, who requested additional unmasking, whether anyone directed the intelligence community to focus on Trump associates, and whether any laws and regulations and procedures were violated. When Nunez left Capitol Hill for the White House that afternoon, everything changed. He'd just begun to scratch the surface of a scandal that would split the country. The media attacks on him started immediately. Why do Republicans trusted W. Nunez to be their oracle of truth? Asked MSNBC analyst Elise Jordan. A former dairy farmer who House Hotel staffers refer to as a secret agent man because he has no idea what's going on. That's coming from MSNBC. Royal host David Hawkins dismissed him as a rube. The match between his backstory and his prominence seems wholly incongruous and helps underscore the perception that Nunez is cleverly playing a very high-stakes game while in a way over his head. This is coming from the MSNBC. The resistance eventually targeted his family as well with political operatives, paying millions of dollars to destroy him. Nunez was no longer just a public figure. The representative from California's 22nd Congressional District, he's become, a Theodore Roosevelt put it, a man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. Okay, now let's get into the crossfire hurricane situation. So it begins on this page, actually. Actually, let's just go to the other one. Alright, so now we're going to get to the operation called Crossfire Hurricane. It's the name that the FBI gave to the investigation it opened on the Trump campaign. The probe was named not after the Stones of 1968 classic, but rather the 1986 Penny Marshall film Jumpin' Jack Flash. In the late Cold War era comedy, a quirky bank officer played by Whoopi Goldberg comes to the aid of Jordan Price, who plays a British spy being chased by the KBG. The FBI's code name alludes to the former British spy whose allegedly Russian source reports documented the Trump team's supposed ties to the Kremlin ex-M16 agent Christopher Steele. Hired by Clinton campaign operatives to spare Trump, Steele was credited with authoring a 35-page collection of memos, the Steele dossier, that the FBI used to obtain a Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA. Remember that? FISA abuse? Yeah, that's in there too. Warrant to spy on Trump and his associates. Informants were also set to spy on and entrap the Trump team. The Dirty Tricks operation turned into a attempted coup after Trump's election, since he was elected without the consensus of the ruling party representing the coastal elite. Barack Obama's intelligence chiefs, including CIA Director John Brennan, FBI Director James Comey, and FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, as well as Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, believed that his election was illegitimate. It was permissible, they believed, to move him from office. You getting that? So I'm not going to make this video go too much, but you get my point. Now I gotta read into it further because there's so much in there I don't know yet, but stay tuned till tomorrow. That just begins to scratch the surface. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned some knowledge from this. I've already begun to uncover the surface of what this whole thing was about. So stay tuned till tomorrow because I'm going to reveal some more as I read. Great book so far. I mean, I can't get my eyes off of it. It's that good. You can get it on Amazon, 1896. It was originally 28, but now they lowered the price. If you can afford it, grab it. And if you left this dingbats out there, you should go grab one too. Right there. Maybe arm yourselves with information. So, I apologize for this video being so long, guys, but I just figured I'd share some of that stuff with you. Anyway, God bless all of you. God bless the duly elected President Donald John Trump. And God bless America! Stay to fight, Patriots. Huzzah!